Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to another reading Sag. So it's been a while since I have made an appearance, and I didn't do this for any of the other signs, but I felt compelled to. So I'm listening to that feeling that I got. I'm answering the call, and I think that it will make the reading more personal. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Welcome back. If you've been here before, it's great to finally meet you face to face. And if you are new here, I welcome you. Go ahead and subscribe, stick around. You won't regret it. This will be a general reading, which those of you who've been here before know. And whatever comes through, that's what we'll talk about for the month. And we'll be clarifying. It's a live shuffle, so get comfortable. And let's see what's going on this month for you guys. If I glance at the camera, it's not because I'm giving you looks. I promise it's because really this is quite strange to get used to. Overall energy, the Sag card coming out first. Okay. Making an appearance, are you? Let's see if we can get that out of the glare. Okay. So what does it mean that your card is coming out first? I think it's about you. I think that it's always been about you. It's been about what you represent. It's been about what you're able to impact. You are the creator. You are responsible, is what I'm being told to tell you here. So you have a lot of control this month. You have a lot of control this month over your mentality. You have a lot of control over the way that you think, the way that you react to certain things. There's no one to blame. And you can respond to that realization a couple different ways. You can respond from a place of fear, if you can respond from a place of fear if just because running away from responsibility is easier to do, right? Or you can respond from a place of empowerment and look at it as, okay, there's no one else that's in control. There's no one else that's responsible. That means that you are in a unique position. You're in a unique position to determine your own circumstances. You're in a unique position to choose your own fate. That's the way that I like to think. I just think that there is so much power in thinking about your circumstances that way. That way you never see yourself as a victim, and you don't miss out on opportunities, and you really capitalize on your strengths. Thinking about things that way, it makes you focus on your strengths. It makes you sort through your feelings, and it makes you focus on what matters as well, right? Your feelings are not always, your feelings aren't ever facts. Some of you may be dealing with a Cancer, and I think that oftentimes, if it's difficult for you to choose what to go after this month, if it's difficult for you to choose what to pursue, just try to take a step back from how you feel about it and really think about the reality of the situation. Really think about what's right and what's really going on. I do think that there's a choice that you have to make this month. We got the Six of Swords in reverse and the Hierophant. It could have something to do with whether or not you are going to leave a job It could be whether or not you accept a job, you accept an appointment, you accept a promotion. I see it being very difficult for you to make a transition here, and it's because of what you're unwilling to move past. It's because of what you're unwilling to let go, what you're unwilling to give up. It's about those vices. It's about what you perceive to be your old faithfuls. Page of Swords, High Priestess, and the Empress card. There's a pretty powerful feminine energy in your life there's some kind of influence here that's trying to instill wisdom and confidence in you and guidance. This looks like guidance. This looks like advice. I told you last month, I told you in the February read that there is somebody that is speaking truth to you. There is someone that you can trust. You have the benefit of good counsel this month too as well. But good counsel and good advice is really only useful if you take it. What good is feedback if you don't do anything with it? Right? If you have a money-making opportunity that you've been working on, I think that you should continue to keep it close to your chest. King of Swords. Yeah. Play it cool. Play it cool. I think as much as you want to be impulsive this month, you shouldn't. Like that's what the advice is here. It's like there's more that needs to be worked out. There's more work that needs to be done. There's a deeper understanding that needs to be had here. I'm getting that you don't have all the facts, but that shouldn't prevent you from moving. And I don't think that you should over analyze and worry yourself into oblivion, worry yourself into paralysis, making it so you aren't able to think up creative solutions for those problems that you have this month. There's just something that it has a lot to do with willpower. A lot of times, some of the biggest problems or some of the things that we perceive to be the biggest issues, the things that we can't move past, the things that make us feel like our worlds are ending or make us feel like we are just, like we have plateaued, they have the simplest solutions. But it just takes looking at your circumstances from a different angle. It takes, leaving behind that victim mindset that we were talking about earlier and understanding that you have the ability, you have the capability, you have the vision. It's all within your grasp. It's all within your reach, but it's like where you mess up, where you screw things up is when you don't know when to stop, when you don't know where the line is, where you keep going even though you know that you're pushing it. For some of you, there's a water sign that you are dealing with. And I think that they're coming to you with some type of money-making opportunity. But I encourage you to just take a look at the business plan. You know, I think that that really needs to happen here. Like, you really need to make sure that you guys want the same thing. And I think that that is really difficult to achieve. Well, let me rephrase. I don't think that you necessarily have to want the same thing to be able to work with someone and to have a good working relationship, just because I think that everybody has their reasons for doing certain things. You know, everybody has their reasons, everybody has their intentions, but I think that what's essential is that there is a shared vision, that there is a shared vision with that you have with whoever it is that you're doing business with. Because if you can't agree on the vision, if you can't agree on the trajectory of the project, then I don't see it being sustainable. I don't see it being built on a stable foundation. Yeah. And all you'll be able to think about is just the money that you lost, the return on your investment that you didn't see. Where is this going? That's plenty. I'll show you those in a second. Let me just get the rest of your cards real quick. I kind of like this. Let me know in the comments, you know, even if you don't like comment a lot, like, should I just get on camera? Should I just be on camera? You know, I do feel like we're more close, you know, like I can, not to say that we weren't close before, but I feel like it's more intimate in a good way. Well, all intimacy really is good. That could be a message for someone who is maybe a bit put off by how willing someone is to be intimate. That's here as well. It could be a water sign, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, like we said. I'm getting love from a distance. Somebody might be wondering if it's gonna last forever. Quite a few came out, and you know, we're just gonna take them. So let's go through them each. First things first, we got Medicine Wheel. So this card speaks of it speaks of a continuation. It speaks of a continuation, and I think that as it relates to your reading, if you are disappointed at the way something is going this month, if you're over your circumstances, if you find yourself in a situation where it's like you're constantly having to, I'm looking down, I'm looking at the cards. If you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly having to remind yourself to not lose your mind, remind yourself to be patient. Like I just get the sense that there is a situation here that's very cyclical in the way that it is toxic. And you may be asking yourself this month, who is to blame? Who can you run to? What is the way out? I think that you're going to get more out of this situation. You're going to get the same thing out of this situation that you're putting into it. So if you're not working on it, if you are not working on it, then you're never going to be able to work through it. If you're going to continue to do the same things that you know how they end, you know where those actions take you, then those are the ends that you're going to see. So that's what this card is all about. It's a reminder that you get what you give, you get what you put into it. And I feel the need to say, like, be careful who you're like upset with, or be careful when it comes to pointing fingers, who it is that you're trying to blame. Because oftentimes, you know, people, they mirror us, and there's a reason why we're being triggered by their behavior. The next card coming out here is Bones for Casting, and I think that there is something here that's very, very obvious, that maybe an objective eye would be able to see just by looking at your situation and having you explain the ins and outs of what you have been dealing with. It's really easy to see what the root of the problem is. Perhaps if we zoom out and really anchor ourselves in that realization that the way that we feel about it aren't necessarily the facts, you'll be able to accept this truth and accept what the universe is trying to tell you about this situation, or about this person, or about this habit that you have that is that's producing the same consequences. The next one we got here is Sacred Site, Purpose. What's really awesome about this one is it's important for you guys to remember this and to stay connected with. Just try to remember this month the reason why. Like, I feel like you need to get in touch with your vision once again. Like we were speaking about, some of you may feel like that vision is threatened either by your circumstances or by some of the people that you're dealing with, or just the way that you feel about it. It could be a lack of passion, a lack of motivation, and it could also be perhaps a lack of appreciation for the resources that you have at your disposal. If you don't exhaust your resources, then I would say that that does translate to a lack of appreciation in some way, shape, or form, because the universe, God has given you the tools, right? And we got Altar being the last card coming out. I don't know if it's flipped, like the words at the bottom, just because of the camera. But at the bottom of this one, it says honoring. And yeah, it is about appreciation. You do have quite a bit to work with here. You're not starting from zero. You have more than you know. All is not lost. And I feel that for some of you, it can feel like that sometimes, especially if you're dealing with some people who you feel like just don't get it. Or it's like when you're going to them to vent, what they're trying to do is give you advice instead. I've actually been, wanting to implement that in my relationships, and I think that you guys should too. Whenever you're speaking to friends, family, or whenever they're speaking to you and wanting to confide in you, just really ask that question before, what do you require of me? Do you want advice right now, or do you just want someone who is going to listen? And I think that some of you are looking for someone that is going to listen. I don't think that, some of the challenges here are quite difficult to overcome. I'm not going to downplay it, because I see some confusion here, or at least you're meditating on the vision, you're meditating on the path, on the way out, what the right thing to do is. And I think that you know, but knowing the path and walking the path are two different things. If walking the path means that you're going to have to stop some bad habits, if you're going to have to cut out certain things, it can make walking the path quite difficult. If you don't know what's going to come next, that can make walking the path quite difficult. If your happiness depends on the the input of someone else, if it depends on reciprocity, that can make walking the path difficult. It slows down the project, it slows down the progress. Let's grab some of these here, these attributes and traits for you, just to kind of personalize the reading a bit more. How's my Six Flags cup? After the read, I'm gonna swap out that water for the champagne of beers. That's Miller High Life, in case you're wondering. We said that you could be dealing with the Pisces. Yes, we really called that. So there's Pisces here heavy. I think that if you are dealing with a Pisces, this person is difficult to track. This person is difficult to, to keep track of. I think you might be trying to do that. You might be trying to keep tabs on them. I definitely see you guys calling them this month. I definitely see you guys texting them. Be careful with that, okay? Yeah. Codependency comes in many different forms. And I think that when you're hooked on someone, you're hooked on someone. Whoops. There's a lot of people coming through. We're gonna go through these. Let's grab a few more for you. Some of you could be dealing with someone who is very my gosh. Okay. Someone who is who's very sensual, someone who's very sensitive, someone who is very intuitive. I do think that they're helping you. Let's get a couple more. There we go. Okay, so we got the month of November. Could be important. Something may be happening that month for one or two of you. The same can be said for October. I showed you the Pisces card. You could be dealing with a Libra, someone whose name starts with an A, a B, or a C. December could be pretty significant. So this fall into winter, I think is going to be pretty major. Yeah, definitely like your birthday season. That song is playing in my mind where it's like one time for the birthday. Yeah, Taurus, the number 6. You could be dealing with someone who has hazel eyes, or you may have them, and Virgo. So as we said, a lot of signs here, quite a bit of people, there's quite a bit of attraction, but I do think that this is also reading as energy. There is definitely, oh yeah, because like Taurus and the Libra, very Venusian, and then we got Virgo and Pisces. That axis is right there. So I think you have recently crossed paths with someone who is very spiritual, someone who is very intuitive, and this could also be just the energy that you are in this month as well. I see you guys trusting your instincts. I see you working very hard. There's a lot of focus here on your routine and on the aesthetic and on the vision this month, the vision that you have. I think that some of you are trying to get at least 1 or 2 people on board with that. I think that you're attracted to this energy in other people as well. All right, we'll leave it there. This was your read. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.